A strange signal spread across the stars, moving from one system to another. It was not a normal signal. It was a call for help. In many alien languages, it repeated the same message. Help us. The Devourers have returned. On distant planets, alien leaders listened in silence. Some turned away in fear. Some tried to respond, but their ships were too weak. The Devourers were a nightmare. They were monsters that did not stop. They came from the dark space between galaxies. They ate planets. They destroyed everything. The Galactic Union was afraid. They had no plan. Their strongest fleets had already failed. No one knew what to do. Then, the signal reached Earth. Earth had been quiet for many years. It was not part of the Union. Long ago, the Union had placed Earth under quarantine. They called it a death world. Everything on Earth was too dangerous. Its animals, its plants, its diseases, even its people. Aliens whispered about humans. Some said they were too violent. Some said they were too clever. Some believed humans had vanished. Others hoped they would never return. But Earth was still there, watching, listening. In Earth's orbit, hundreds of AI satellites scanned deep space. One of them picked up the signal. Within seconds, the message was sent down to Earth's command center. Captain Han Jite was the first to hear it. He was working the night shift at the Orbital Defense Command. He drank black coffee and looked at the long rows of monitors in front of him. Most nights were boring. But this night was different. The signal blinked onto his screen. His eyes widened. He leaned forward. Is this real? He whispered. The computer ran translation protocols. The message was simple. Help us, the Devourers have returned. Jite tapped a button. This is Captain Han. We have something urgent. Within minutes, the room was full of officers. General Kim Nari arrived in her dark uniform. Her face was calm, but her eyes were sharp. What do we have? She asked. G-Tay stood. We received a galactic SOS. Multiple alien languages, same message. The Devourers are back. The room went silent. Everyone knew the old stories. The Devourers were not just enemies. They were death itself. General Nari looked at the screen. So, the galaxy is begging. Yes, General. She crossed her arms. Why did they send it to us? We've been in isolation for 200 years. Jite shook his head. I don't think they meant to. The signal went everywhere. But we caught it. She nodded slowly. And now we have to decide. Some officers were nervous. Should we get involved? One asked. The Union abandoned us. They feared us, another said. And now they need us. Nari looked around. I want full analysis. History of the Devourers. Threat level. Mobilization time. Jite spoke clearly. General, we should respond. She raised an eyebrow. You think we owe them something? No, Jite said, but we're the only ones who can stop the Devourers. General Nari didn't speak for a moment. Then she said, prepare the fleet. A new message was sent from Earth. Message received. Fleet deploying. The news spread fast. In underground bunkers and spaceports around the planet, red lights flashed. Sirens blared. After 200 years of silence, Earth's Deathworlder fleet was waking up. Unlike the sleek ships of the Galactic Union, Earth's warships looked like beasts. They were large, dark, and covered in thick armor. They had no fancy curves. They were made for war, made for survival. Pilots ran to their stations. Engineers started power-ups. Generals reviewed old battle maps. Satellites turned their eyes outward. Earth was not afraid. In a hangar deep in Korea's mountain base, Lieutenant Park Junji checked her starfighter. It was fast, dangerous, and armed with plasma missiles. She patted the side of the ship and smiled. Ready for another dance. She whispered. In a training camp in the Siberian wastes, Sergeant Lee Dae-hyun was finishing hand-to-hand drills with his squad. His right arm, a cybernetic one, hissed with strength. "Looks like we're going back to work," he said with a grin. In a lab under the Pacific Ocean, Dr. Yoon Hai-jin read the translated message. She was a scientist but also a field researcher. "Devourers. I've waited to study you," she said. Earth was moving. A week later, the fleet stood ready in orbit. There were over 50 major warships, hundreds of support ships, and thousands of drones, carriers for soldiers, labs for scientists, and command ships for strategy. The lead ship was the ISV Thunderclaw. On its deck stood General Nari and Captain Jite. "Final jump coordinates confirmed," said G-T.R. I looked at the stars ahead. "Let's remind the galaxy what humans are." And with a final command, the fleet vanished into hyperspace. Far across the stars, the planet Varelis Ix was dying. The Devourers were their black, spiked creatures with no eyes and many mouths. They swarmed across cities, tearing down buildings, feeding on energy, and leaving ash. Alien defenders tried to stop them, but their weapons did little. The sky was dark with fear. Then a new light appeared. Earth's ships came out of hyperspace. Like thunder, the galaxy had called for help, and the Deathworlders had answered. The Devourers had turned cities into ruins. Tall towers fell. Skyways broke apart. The green forests were now black ash. Every hour, the monsters grew stronger. They were not animals. They were not machines. They were something in between: fast, strong, and always changing. Alien soldiers tried to fight. They used plasma rifles, energy nets, and laser drones. But nothing worked for long. The Devourers learned quickly. A weapon that worked once did not work the next time. On a hill near the last alien base, Commander Siva of the Varellan Defense Forces looked to the sky with tired eyes. "We are finished," he said. Then the sky lit up. A massive ship broke through the clouds, followed by hundreds more. They were not smooth and shining like Union ships. These ships were like mountains with engines, hard, dark, and terrifying. The Deathworlders had arrived. From the lead ship ISV Thunderclaw, General Kim Nari gave her orders. "All units, begin Operation Iron Shield. We hold the line. No retreat." Her voice was calm, but her words hit like fire. Captain Han Jite worked beside her in the command room. "Deploy Starfighter Wing. Ground squads, prepare for drop." In Hangar Bay 4, Lieutenant Park Eun-ji was already inside her starfighter. The cockpit closed over her, and the engines roared. "Eagle Wing, this is Falcon 1, she said. "Follow my lead." Her team launched into the sky. Fast and deadly, their ships danced through the black smoke. Devourers with wings tried to attack, but the humans were faster. Eun-ji fired plasma bolts into a swarm. 3 creatures exploded. She smiled. "Let's clean the sky." On the ground, giant drop pods slammed into the planet like falling meteors. Their sides opened, and human soldiers stepped out in full combat armor. Sergeant Lee De-Hyen led one squad. His cybernetic arm gleamed under the sun. "Weapons ready. Stay tight." The alien survivors in the base stared. These humans moved like predators. Their armor was heavy, but they moved fast. Their weapons were loud and deadly. De-Hyen's team moved into the city ruins. The Devourers charged at them, large ones, like black tanks with claws. De-Hyen pulled out his railgun. "Let's try this," he fired. The bullet hit the creature's head. It exploded in pieces. The aliens watching from behind cover gasped. De-Hyen looked back and nodded. "Join us or stay out of the way." Above the battlefield, Dr. Yoon Hai-jin stood in a lab inside the science ship ISV Horizon. She studied the battlefield through drones. "Fascinating," she said. "Their bodies change too fast. They are not natural." She zoomed in on one of the Devourers. Its skin was growing thicker after being hit. She spoke into her mic. "They have a hive mind. They learn from each other instantly. Target the new ones before they adapt." General Nari heard the report. She sent the update to all units. Soon, the humans changed tactics. Starfighters moved in smaller groups. Ground teams rotated weapons. They kept changing patterns so the Devourers could not keep up. The tide turned. For the first time in weeks, the aliens on Varellus Ix saw the monsters fall back. Commander Siva watched from his base. He turned to his officers. The stories were true. Deathworlders are real. A young alien soldier asked, "Are they here to save us?" Siva watched another wave of human ships land. "I don't know, but they are not here to lose." By the third day, the Devourers were being pushed out of the main city. EUN-G flew over the battlefield and gave updates. "We have full air control. Ground teams advancing. No sign of enemy retreat pattern." In the ruins of the Varellan Museum, Daehyun's squad found survivors hiding in the basement. He spoke through a translator. "We're here to help. Come with us." A small child, Varellan by the look of her pale blue skin and bright eyes, stepped forward. "You're human," she whispered. "Yes," Daehyun said. "And we fight monsters." The child smiled for the first time in days. In her lab, Dr. Hai Jin made a discovery. "The Devourers have a queen," she said. "Not one, but several. They send commands through signals in the air, like radio waves." Captain Jite joined her through video. "Can we block it?" "Not yet," she said. "But if we find the queen on this planet, we can cut the local Hive's link location." Dr. Hai Jin pointed to the old mountain range north of the city. "There, that hive is large enough to be a command node." Jite relayed the plan. General Nari approved it. "Send Daehyun's team. If we cut the hive, we take the planet." That night, Daehyun and his unit moved into the mountains. The air was thick. The ground was strange alive, like it was growing. They reached a deep cave, pulsing with green light. Inside, they found it. The queen. It was huge, 10 meters tall, with long claws and a face like a nightmare. Around it, eggs pulsed and creatures hissed. Daehyun looked at his team. "No backup, just us." He raised his weapon. "Let's show the galaxy how Earth fights." Outside, the Devourers screamed. The hive was breaking. In the sky, Unji's radar picked up the shift. "They're panicking. Something's wrong in their network." Inside the cave, Daehyun planted explosives. He gave a small nod to his team. "For Earth," he said. The explosion rocked the mountain. The queen was gone. The Devourers lost their link. Across the battlefield, the monsters froze, confused. Some fell. Some turned on each other. Humans and aliens struck hard. By sunrise, the battle was over. Varellus Ix was free. General Nari stood on the ruined city wall, looking at the rising sun. Captain Jite stepped beside her. "One planet saved," she nodded. "And the war has only begun." Alien leaders started sending messages. They wanted help. They wanted hope. And Earth answered, "This is not the end. This is the return." After the victory on Varellus Ix, the name Earth spread quickly. Across 100 star systems, people asked the same question: who are the Deathworlders? Alien refugees whispered their stories. They spoke of soldiers who fought monsters without fear, of ships that dropped from the sky like thunder, of humans who came from the most dangerous planet in the galaxy, and one, the Galactic Union, had no choice. They called a special meeting. Leaders from many alien species sat in a great circular hall on the planet Kaliros. Holograms showed the battles on Varellus Ix. Everyone watched the humans. Everyone listened when General Kim Nari spoke. "We do not ask for thanks," she said. "We came because your enemy is our enemy. We came because we are not afraid." The alien leaders sat in silence. Then one elder, with silver skin and 6 eyes, stood. "Earth is a death world," he said. "But it is also a light in the dark." Will you help us fight the Devourers together? General Nari nodded. We will fight. But not alone. So a new group was formed. It was called the Allied Deathworld Defense Pact. Earth was the leader. But many aliens joined. Brave species that once feared war now trained beside humans. Some flew ships. Some learned tactics. Some simply wanted to survive. Captain Hanjite worked day and night to plan missions. We don't win by fear, he told the council. We win by being ready. Lieutenant Park Yoonji trained alien pilots. You don't have to be perfect, she told them. Just faster than the monsters. Sergeant Lee Dae-hyun showed alien soldiers how to fight hand to claw. He smiled after every drill. Pain means you're still alive, he said. And Dr. Yoon Hae-jin worked in the labs. Her research was now the key to understanding the Devourers. We found something, she told the team one day. The Devourers were made, not born. A long time ago, another race created them. Captain Jite leaned forward. Who created them? We don't know, she said. But the records call them the Silent Ones. They tried to make the perfect weapon. They lost control. General Nari frowned. And now we clean up their mistake. Dr. Hae-jin nodded. The good news, the Devourers have a central brain, one true queen, the Hive planet. If we destroy it, the war ends. The final mission was planned. Every fleet in the pact would join. From every allied world, ships gathered. They formed the largest armada in history. At the center was Earth's fleet. Leading the charge, the Hive planet was deep in uncharted space. Its surface was black and alive, with towers that pulsed like hearts. It was a world built for one thing: destruction. General Nari gave her orders. We go in hard, we strike fast. No second chances. Yoonji prepared her fighters. Just another day in the sky. Dae-hyun checked his armor. Let's end this. Dr. Hae-jin loaded her virus program. This will cut the Queen's signal. Captain Jite stood on the bridge of Thunderclaw. He looked at the stars ahead. All ships begin jump. The fleet moved through hyperspace. The war was about to end. The battle was chaos. The Hive planet launched millions of Devourers into space. Their ships were made of bone and muscle, with no engines, just raw speed. Eunji flew through waves of them, shooting and dodging. Her fighter moved like fire. Too many targets, she said. We need a clear path. Jite replied, We'll make one. The fleet's heavy cannons opened fire. Bright beams cut through the dark. Alien and human ships fought side by side. Explosions lit up the sky. On the surface, Dae-hyun's team landed near the Queen's hive. They moved fast. Every second, more monsters crawled from the ground. But the team didn't stop. Inside the hive, the walls moved like skin. The Queen waited in the heart of the planet. She was massive, covered in armor, surrounded by guards. Dae-hyun looked at his team. We plant the virus. We end this. No retreat. Dr. Hae-jin's drone flew beside them. Upload starting. The virus entered the Queen's signal link. She screamed. Across the galaxy. The Devourers paused. In space. Their ships stopped moving. On the ground, their claws twitched. Eung flew close to the surface. It's working. But the Queen was not dead yet. She charged Dae-hyun's squad. Her claws cut the air. Her guards attacked. One soldier fell. Another was injured. Dae-hyun faced the Queen. He used everything: bullets, grenades, his cyber arm. The fight was long. The pain was deep, but he reached her. With a final blast, he destroyed the Queen's core. The hive began to collapse. Get out! He yelled. They ran. Outside, the planet shook. Towers fell. The sky turned red. Gite gave the order. All ships jump. Out! The fleet left just before the hive planet exploded. A bright flash filled the stars. Then silence. The war was over. The Devourers were gone. The galaxy was free. Later, on a peaceful moon, a ceremony was held. Leaders, soldiers, and citizens came. From every world. General Nari spoke. You called for help. And Earth answered. The crowd cheered. Jite smiled. We were once forgotten. Now we lead. Yunji stood with her fellow pilots. They'll never forget us now. Dahayan wore a medal. He looked at the stars and said, they can come if they want. We'll still be here. And Dr. Hai Jin gave her final report. The galaxy must learn. Not just how to fight, but how to prevent monsters like these. From that day, Earth was no longer just a death world. It was the heart of a new age. A symbol of strength, a beacon of hope, a legend reborn. The Deathworlders had returned. And they had saved the galaxy.